Imagine, you step out of your house, but instead of a roof above you, there's a thick layer of earth. It seems like you live underground, yet you breathe fresh air. It's bright, spacious, and warm. Fantasy? Not at all. Today, we will explore how underground houses are built, where it's neither stuffy, nor damp, nor gloomy. We will find out what role air plays in the construction of earth houses, and in general, how feasible it is to create comfortable living spaces underground. In addition, I will tell you about a very intriguing construction technology that involves inflating a house. So make yourself comfortable, it's going to be fascinating. Why do people build houses underground? Imagine a house that is not afraid of the scorching sun, severe frost, or even the most unpredictable weather conditions. Sounds like a dream? In fact, it's a reality for those who choose to live underground. Let's figure out why more and more people are deciding to hide their homes beneath the Earth's surface. Firstly, it's a true fortress against natural disasters. Underground houses withstand hurricanes, earthquakes, and even floods. The point is that the Earth acts as a natural shield, protecting against strong winds and seismic shocks. So, while your neighbors are reinforcing their roofs before the storm, you can calmly enjoy a cup of tea in your cozy shelter. Secondly, living in an underground house means saving on utility bills. The Earth has the remarkable property of maintaining a stable temperature. This means that in your underground home, it will be warm in the winter and cool in the summer. The costs for heating and air conditioning are reduced, and your wallet remains happy. Let's not forget about the environmental friendliness. The construction of underground houses minimally impacts the environment. There is no need to cut down forests or disrupt the natural landscape. Moreover, you can create a garden or vegetable patch on the roof of such a house, giving back to nature what was taken for construction. And what about silence and privacy? The Earth excellently absorbs sounds, so no noisy neighbors or city hustle will disturb your peace. This is the perfect solution for those who value tranquility and want to escape from the outside world. But is everything really that perfect? Obviously, it's not. Underground homes have many drawbacks that you must be aware of before starting construction. Problems of underground homes and the role of air. Let's say you decided to build a house underground. Silence, stable temperature, complete harmony with nature. But underground, there are nuances, especially when it comes to air. Let's figure out what problems might arise and how air becomes a key player in solving these issues. The first and perhaps the most important problem is ventilation. In a regular house, windows are on the surface, and there it is, a fresh breeze. But underground, installing windows, to put it mildly, is problematic. Without proper ventilation, air becomes stagnant, which leads to unpleasant odors and consequently a potential health risk. So what is the solution? Modern ventilation systems that ensure a constant supply of fresh air and the removal of stale air. The second problem is humidity. The surrounding earth can be generous with moisture, and without proper insulation, your cozy underground corner risks turning into a sauna. And where there's humidity, there's mold. Mold not only ruins walls, but also poses potential respiratory problems. Therefore, it's important not only to properly insulate the walls and floor, but also to install humidity control systems. For example, good air dehumidification systems are always beneficial. Now about the temperature. Underground, the temperature is more stable, but that doesn't mean you can forget about climate control. Ventilation systems with heating or cooling functions will help maintain a comfortable atmosphere at any time of the year. I think it's now clear that an underground home is a complex system that requires attention and care. However, with the right approach, your underground home will become not only a shelter from the outside world, but also a true oasis of comfort. Innovative technologies using air. You descend into your underground home and there is fresh air, a comfortable temperature, and no dampness. It seems like magic, but in reality, it's the result of applying modern technologies. Let's dive into the world of innovation and find out how air helps create ideal conditions underground. Let's start with geothermal heat pumps. These smart devices use the constant temperature of the ground at depth to heat or cool your dwelling. How does it work? A special heat carrier circulates through pipes laid underground depending on the season. It either absorbs heat from the ground or returns it back. This not only ensures a comfortable temperature in the house year-round, but also significantly reduces energy costs. Now let's move on to ventilation. In underground homes, fresh air is not a luxury, but a necessity. Modern ventilation systems with heat recovery not only provide a constant supply of fresh air, but also retain heat inside the premises. This means that in winter you don't let precious heat escape outside, and in summer you don't let the heat in. Savings and comfort in one package. And what about air purification? Here, ducted bactericidal units like Tea and Eco come to the rescue. They not only filter dust and harmful substances, but also disinfect the air, protecting you from bacteria and viruses. the health of your family will be under reliable protection. Interestingly, air-related technologies are used not only inside the house, but also during its construction. For example, the technology of Void Former's Kobe-Ax allows to create light and durable floors, reducing the load on the structure and saving materials. This is especially important when constructing underground structures where every pound matters. And of course, the concept of a passive house cannot go unmentioned. These are buildings that, thanks to thoughtful design and the use of modern technologies, consume a minimal amount of energy for heating and cooling. An airtight envelope, efficient ventilation, and the use of solar energy make such houses not only environmentally friendly, but also economically advantageous. Thus, air in underground construction is not just empty space, but a powerful tool that, when used wisely, transforms an underground home into a cozy, energy-efficient, and healthy dwelling. Technology does not stand still, and who knows what other air innovations await us in the future. Well, what if you want to learn about new construction technologies? Even more, I recommend reaching out to the specialists from the production association Sistema. This is a leading manufacturing company offering a full range of services from designing modular buildings and homes for various purposes to developing design projects, including interior finishing. The team provides a guarantee for their work, which is very important in our time. General recommendations for building a house underground. Finally, you've decided to build your underground house. It might seem like you just dig a hole, cover it from above, and you're done. But it's not that simple. To ensure your underground house is comfortable, durable, and safe, you need to consider several important nuances. The first rule: the right choice of location. Building a dugout in a lowland or near a river is a bad idea. Water will always find a way to ruin your life by flooding the dwelling and destroying its walls. Ideally, groundwater should be at least 5 feet below ground level. Permafrost is not an option at all. Either everything will melt and float away, or it will freeze so hard that neither a shovel nor machinery can handle it. The second important aspect is the orientation of the house. It's better to place the entrance on the southern side so that the sun warms and lights up the entrance. And if light wells or windows are planned, it's important to think about their placement in advance so that sunlight enters for at least a third of the daylight hours. Without this, the house can turn into an eternal twilight realm. Now let's talk about the foundation. The floor of the earth house should be at least 1.5 feet above the groundwater level. Modern designs usually incorporate a drainage system to avoid collecting a pool of puddles inside after every rain. The walls are the foundation of reliability. They are reinforced with various materials, from wood and earth bags to brick, concrete, or adobe. The main thing is that the structure is strong and can withstand the pressure of the soil. The roof is not just a lid for a pot. In traditional earth houses, it is supported by posts and beams. But if you are building permanently, you can install a full-fledged rafter system. And finally, the most important thing is air. Without ventilation, an underground house will turn into a stuffy, damp refuge. Therefore, it is essential to provide for a supply and exhaust system, or even better, install forced ventilation. It will ensure fresh air and eliminate excess moisture. So, to build the perfect underground house, you need to consider location, lighting, drainage, walls, roof, and ventilation. Got it? Let's move on. Examples of real underground houses. Let's start with Switzerland, where architect Peter Vetsch created a series of underground eco-houses. These dwellings literally blend with the landscape, becoming part of nature. Thanks to the earth covering, the houses have excellent thermal insulation, allowing for a stable temperature inside, all year round. This is not only cozy but also economical in terms of energy consumption. Let's move to Spain, where the Cantera house is located. This unique project is a transformed abandoned quarry. The architects turned it into a modern living space while preserving the natural beauty and texture of the stone. The result is a house that is both a work of art and a functional dwelling. And what about Australia? In the town of Coober Pedy, many residents live in underground homes to escape the extreme heat. These homes, known as dugouts, are dug into the sandstone and offer coolness even on the hottest days. This approach not only protects against high temperatures, but also saves on air conditioning. There are also examples of underground homes in the United States. One of them is the energy-efficient Balto dugout house. Built with sustainable development principles in mind, this house takes advantage of the earth for natural insulation, reducing energy consumption for heating and cooling. In the United Kingdom, you can find an underground house known as the House Under the Hill. This eco-friendly house is built inside a hill and uses solar energy for heating and lighting. Thanks to its design, the house is almost invisible from the outside, minimizing its impact on the environment. The examples I described show that underground houses are not only a way to hide from the outside world, but also an opportunity to live in harmony with nature, using its resources to create comfortable and sustainable housing. Who knows, perhaps the future of architecture lies right beneath our feet. Speaking of the future, what will underground houses be like? Imagine the city of the future. Instead of skyscrapers reaching for the sky, there are underground streets, parks, and residential areas. Imagine the city of the future. Instead of skyscrapers reaching for the sky, there are underground streets, parks, and residential areas. In the context of rapid population growth and urbanization, architects and engineers are increasingly looking underground, considering it as a promising space for city development. Underground houses and structures could become the key to solving many modern problems of metropolises. One of the main advantages of underground buildings is their energy efficiency. The Earth naturally maintains a stable temperature, which allows for a significant reduction in heating costs in winter and cooling costs in summer. For example, in Paris, underground spaces maintain a temperature of about 57 degrees Fahrenheit, regardless of the season, making them ideal for various purposes. Moreover, underground houses harmoniously integrate into the natural landscape, minimizing the impact on the environment. They allow for the preservation of green spaces on the surface, which is especially important in densely populated cities. In Singapore, important infrastructure facilities, such as oil storage and cooling systems, are already being moved underground. This frees up space on the surface for parks and residential areas. However, the construction of underground houses is associated with a number of technical and social challenges. Proper ventilation, lighting, and waterproofing must be ensured to create comfortable living conditions. Additionally, it is important to consider the psychological aspect of living underground and to design the space in such a way that it is bright, spacious, and cozy. Despite these difficulties, interest in underground architecture continues to grow. Perhaps in the near future, we will witness the emergence of entire underground cities, where people will live, work, and relax, taking advantage of life beneath the Earth's surface. Myths about underground houses. The type of houses we are considering captivates the imagination and generates many myths. Let's debunk some of them and find out what lies beneath the ground. Myth 1. Underground houses are dark and damp caves. In fact, underground houses can be bright and cozy, thanks to modern technologies and architectural solutions. Nowadays, earth shelters are equipped with quality ventilation and lighting. Let's recall Coober Pedy in Australia, where residents dug their homes into the sandstone to escape the scorching sun. Inside their homes, a comfortable temperature is maintained, and daylight penetrates through specially equipped openings. Myth 2. Underground houses are unsafe and prone to flooding. On the contrary, proper design and construction ensure the safety of underground houses. In areas with high groundwater levels, such as Kursk, underground passages were used to connect defensive structures and provide a secret passage into the fortress. These passages were true engineering structures, protected from intrusion by ventilation channels. Myth 3. Underground houses are a relic of the past, having no relevance to the present. In fact, underground construction is actively developing even today. In Moscow, for example, there are underground spaces with developed infrastructure featuring numerous shops and cultural centers. Amazing, isn't it? Myth 4. Underground houses are exclusively cold and uncomfortable spaces. Modern heating and insulation technologies allow for the creation of comfortable conditions in underground houses. In some cities, for example, in Craiova, Moldova, a stable temperature is maintained in underground spaces. This is ideal for wine storage. Craiova is home to some of the largest wine cellars in the world, stretching about 124 miles. Underground houses are not only an interesting alternative to traditional construction, but also a reflection of human ingenuity and the pursuit of comfort. They combine safety, energy efficiency, and uniqueness, offering new prospects for urban development. Houses made of air. Imagine a house that can be inflated like a balloon, then deflated and moved to another location. It sounds like science fiction, but scientists from the Omsk Research Institute of Building Materials and Structures claim that it is a reality. They have developed a unique technology for inflatable houses that will revolutionize the concept of modern construction. The foundation of such houses is a durable polymer material that, when filled with air, takes on a predetermined shape and retains it. These structures are surprisingly lightweight, yet incredibly strong. They are not afraid of strong winds, snowfalls, and even minor earthquakes. Moreover, they retain heat excellently, making them suitable for living in any climatic conditions. And most importantly, no foundation is needed. Inflatable houses do not require large-scale construction work and do not harm the environment. Inflatable cottages have already become particularly popular among buyers. These houses are not just temporary shelters, but full-fledged homes with several rooms, a veranda, and even balconies. The owner can literally inflate their house in a new location if they want a change of scenery. This is the perfect option for country retreats, tourist bases, or even temporary housing after natural disasters. And if a cottage seems too large, you can always choose a compact summer house. It is suitable for hiking trips, scientific expeditions, or as temporary housing during the construction of a main house. Moreover, the material of such houses is completely safe and environmentally friendly, and the cost is several times lower than traditional housing. But that's not all. Scientists do not intend to stop at what has been achieved. They are already conducting experiments with inflatable apartment buildings and are even considering the possibility of constructing inflatable skyscrapers. How soon will we see the first inflatable neighborhoods? It's a matter of time. But one thing can be said for sure. Such houses are not just a bold experiment, but the real architecture of the future. Today we have seen that comfortable, underground and inflatable houses are not science fiction, but reality. Their advantages are obvious: safety, energy efficiency, stable temperature, and affordability. Modern technologies solve all issues, from ventilation to humidity control. And geothermal pumps and air purification systems make such houses comfortable for living. Therefore, if you ever consider settling underground or in an air castle, you won't be considered crazy. After all, such technologies will be widespread. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new exciting topics. Thank you for being with us and see you in the next video.